Sure. Well, hi everybody. It's been about 5.5 months for me that I first learned about patching, and before I was really suffering. I was kind of a silent sufferer of chronic fatigue and depression, actually. And so, I'm really healthy and active, and do a lot of right things, but I lived pretty miserable from day to day. So that's kind of where I started before the
Oh,
patches.
wow. Well, who introduced you to it? And you said you've been patching about 5 months.
Yeah, Lisa Berquist.
Oh, great,
And
great.
Lisa Rillo is who I worked with too, but Lisa Berquist is who I directly heard from.
Awesome, awesome. So you
Mhm.
started about 5 months ago, and
I
did you
did.
start with the dynamic duo or just
I did.
X39
I did. Yep. X39 and Eon.
and
And
Eon?
as I did some research, I'm a nurse myself and was really intrigued with the science and what I read. And I knew there was nothing I had to lose. And so I was excited and I was teachable and open to what my team was telling me to try. And it was about a month. I knew this wasn't a quick fix, but after a month, I feel like a light kind of went on inside of me. I woke up before my alarm. And when I said I dealt with chronic fatigue, I would take 2 to 3 hour naps every day, just routinely, every day I took naps, but didn't really feel much better after. And so I noticed that was my routine. I'm a kickboxing instructor. I go teach, I come home ready for my nap, and I wouldn't need to sleep. And so that was new for me. And so that would be 5 days a week that I wouldn't need to sleep. And if I did need a nap, it would be for an hour and I'd wake up feeling refreshed. And so if that was the only thing that happened, that was really life changing, just to have that energy. So that was the first thing I saw after about a month.
Wow, wow. After
Yeah.
a month, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So how did it progress from there?
Yeah, so I continued being real consistent with the Eon and the X39, and then I noticed that my mental clarity was improving. I sometimes when I teach, I'm just having people, I always say it takes a village because they'd have to fill in sentences for me and count for me sometimes, just because I would just have such a hard time with mental fog, and I saw that improving, so that was encouraging. Um, I also, after about 2.5 months, I've been on two antidepressants for a really long time. When I started feeling nauseous after I took those meds, and I thought, man, I wonder if something's changing. So I contacted my primary physician, and with her help, after or just about a month ago, I'm off all my antidepressants that I've been on for 15 years. And
Wow.
so so my body literally was starting to reject whatever was changing in my body, did not want them anymore. And so it was a slow process of weaning off, and that's huge. I do not like being on medications. So that's been really exciting, and I'm maintaining well without those meds. I also have been a competitive athlete. I worked my body really hard, and just noticing a lot of better improvement with recovery and stamina. I work my body really hard, but a lot of times just really hurt a lot in the mornings, especially like foot pain and just general difficulty recovering. So much more improved. And I had had chronic Achilles pain. I had been taping my Achilles for months and months. I rarely have pain in my Achilles anymore. And so
Wow.
once in a while, there's a little twinge of it, but mostly gone most of the days. And I was just thinking this week, this has been a really rough winter here, at least in Minnesota, with a lot of sickness. And I'm a nurse. I'm around a lot of people, but I haven't been sick all winter. And that's huge. This is the first season I've gone without being sick. So yay.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That
So
is
I just really feel the best I've felt in a lot of years. So I'm really, really grateful.
wow. And we have a lot of nurses. We
Mm.
really do. I don't know why nurses seem to be more open and grasp this faster than doctors do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But gosh, what credibility I feel like you bring to it,
Mm.
because you come with that mindset of research and I want to understand
Yeah.
this and all that. So that
Yeah.
is just amazing. So what
Yeah.
are
Thank you.
you looking to improve in the future? Because we all know that as long as it took you to get to where you were in
Yeah.
4.5 months, your healing is not complete. So
Right.
what are
Right.
you looking for in the future?
Yeah. Well, I prevention is really important to me. And I lost a mom to breast cancer when I was 18 months old. And so I really feel my best result may be what I never know about. You know what I mean? Whatever my body is fighting. So prevention is huge, and just remaining to get stronger and healthier as I age. But prevention is huge. So I'm thankful for that piece alone. You
Oh my
know,
gosh, I'm
I
so glad you said that because, so
mm,
many people think, well, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't need
mm,
this. You know,
yeah,
but we all need to,
yeah,
renew our master cells and to be able to age better. We need the
right.
cells in our body. So I'm so glad you said that because prevention is big enough reason,
Yeah.
to use the
All
patch
right. And
active.
I'm a hospice nurse of 26 years, and so I see people with a lot of different diseases. But I would say in the last year, the last 10 years, the rapid increase of early onset dementia, people in their 50s, it is just epidemic. You know, something is going on that we're seeing that in people's lives so young, not to mention all the, it's not old people in hospice, it is young. And so we have to change something, and
Yes.
this is such a great tool that we can use.
Yes,
You
and
know,
I
it
know
is
that's
so
a
well.
complex situation, but this is one tool. Like
It is one tool.
I
Hmm.
have a new friend and her and her husband are patching just for that reason because he's starting to not remember things and already just in 2 weeks is feeling so much better and so much more mental clarity.
Exciting.
So, we really do have something amazing in our hands. And
Mm.
thank you so much for coming on,
You're
Jody.
welcome.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it so much. Uh,
You.
my next guest is not here. I don't know where she is, but she has a wonderful recovery story that started last August, and hopefully we'll have her on again. But Dr. Stan is actually going to give us a 3-year update with his patching journey and something that happened to him this week